Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we have our weekly family podcast, Big Sam and Nephews and Sherry. They'll all be along, I'm sure, later on in the show. But this is our family podcast, and it's been going on about a year and a half now. I've been rocking about a year and a half now.
Yeah, it's been about a year and a half.
You know,
so we're getting better.
Getting better and better as the show goes on. But I just, and we talk about sports, but we also talk about other things. We had Tom Bandier was on our show last week, and he had an incredible story. The guy's turning 90 years old next month, so he must be doing something right.
Right. Yeah, you're doing a lot right. You ain't lying about that one.
Yeah, I knew him back when I worked for Timberwolves for like 5 years. I knew him. He was our chaplain back then, and so that's where I knew him. And then we used to go to the same church together for a while. And then I used to go to his house and barbecue all the time every weekend. So, it's fun. But
get on the grill.
Right. I'm not saying I'm fantastic, but I mean, I hold my own.
Hey, that's all. Hey, that's what us Williams kids do. We hold our own on that grill, man. We hold our own on that grill.
I'm not shabby. I ain't trying to brag and act like, oh man, I'm the grill, because I'm not the grill master. But
you're the apprentice.
I'm more than the apprentice. I mean, I can hold my own though.
I can. You can get down. It's all right. That's what we do, Uncle. I just think that everybody in our family, some kind of way, we could all really grill.
I was never, I raised Sable for a while, and so by myself, so I had to learn I knew how to cook. I've been knowing how to cook since I was a child.
Right.
Always have, just know how to cook, If I want to eat, then you got to cook. So sometimes people just, real quick, sometimes these guys say they can't cook. I said, how come you know how to cook, man? Did your mother teach you how to cook? I guess not.
Bad parenting skill. Bad parenting right there.
I don't know. Well, you can't, because a lot of times because sometimes kids didn't. Maybe they didn't grow up in a with a mother, or maybe they had a stepmom and didn't want to teach them how to cook, or who knows the situation. But
right,
you got to know how to cook, dudes. I'm sorry, you got to know how to cook, and not microwave cooking either. That's not cooking.
That's not cooking.
That is not cooking. But anyway, I want to get going here. A couple of things. We had our first black female football coach.
Yep.
And her name is Jennifer King, and she coaches the Washington Redskins.
No, they're not the Redskins anymore. You have to be politically correct.
Sorry. The Washington football team.
The Washington football team.
I got it written down too. You think I'd say it right, but I didn't.
Hey, nah, because it's always we just say the Redskins.
Right.
So. Right. Yeah, so congratulations to her. What position I vaguely heard about it, but what is she a positions coach or? Yeah.
She is a positions coach. She'll coach the linemen.
Oh wow, that's big time right there. That's that's not a small feat, because most of the time the line coaches, they're like pretty much like those assistant coaches that are up in line to start moving up, offensive coordinators and things like that. So.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Wow, that's good. Good on her.
And then the other thing was that popped up. I just saw this morning. It was like Matthew Stafford, right? He used to coach. He used to play for the Detroit Lions, right? You remember that, Matthew Stafford? Well, he got traded for a bunch of draft picks, man. There's a couple of number ones.
Yep.
It's like, dude,
big price tag.
They must have wanted him badly. But you know what?
No, it's the price tag of Jared Goff. He's due like a $41 million this year, and he's guaranteed like $104 million.
That trade to me was all about the money trade.
Well, here goes the other thing. So the other caveat, the GM that was with the Rams, he went over to the Lions this year.
Right.
So now he's like, hey, I want my guy. I drafted him. This is basically the GM that drafted him. He's like, hey, look, and not saying that Goff is bad, but it's too much money tied up into him. That Super Bowl helped him get paid. So he had that Super Bowl run, boom. And then,
in the playoff run.
Yeah, in the playoff run. So, I mean, he's not a bad quarterback, but you know, when you don't have the confidence of the coaching staff, it's like, hey, like we could do better without him. Like we can get better when we
Because the
don't.
Rams got a defense. They have a killer defense.
Yeah, their defense is bomb.
But it just, for whatever reason, they just were missing a couple of pieces offensively. You know, they got some decent receivers. They don't have great receivers. They got some decent, okay receivers, okay back. Do you think that if Matthew Stafford is going to make a difference for the Rams?
Yeah, because we saw what he did with Calvin Johnson.
Right.
There you go. I mean, he's an all-time receiver, but I mean, the Lions never had a defense. I mean, they could always score. That wasn't their problem. They could always score and you know, they were just playing from behind too much. Really, that's what it is.
Just the Lions, and I'm not ripping them. I mean, I like the Lions, but the management for the Lions is just. I mean, you hired Matt Patricia, right?
Right.
From the New England Patriots, right? For a couple of years, and then it wasn't working out with him. He goes back to New England.
Yep. Go back home, you know. Hey.
And so, you know, I guess it's kind of like you know, what well, I guess with Matt Patricia, he's not a head coach at all. I'm sorry.
No.
He's not in the NFL. I just don't see it.
Hey, speaking of head coaches, just off subject. It's really on the subject. So one, I'm gonna give it up for David Cooley one time. Yay.
Right.
But two, you know, you have 7 opens. You know, you start. It's bad when it's leading ESPN, right? Where, you know, you have Andy Reid, you have all these people who are, you know, vouching for all the coaches that should be coming up, the people of color that should be coming up that have been making great runs, you know, that have been in the industry for X amount of years, that have a pedigree and things like that. And, you know, you keep on getting these coaches that nobody don't know about, that doesn't make any noise with their defenses or their offenses that aren't even to the level of some of these other coaches. And these other African-American coaches or people of color coaches, they're like the last one on the rung. Like, you know what? We're going to give you another chance. You know, so, you know, Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job yet. You know, everybody's pissed off about that because people know this guy. They know him from playing. They know him from coaching. They know him as, you know, as what he is, his personality, his character. And, you know, people keep on passing over him. And it's like, are you serious? Like,
well, you know, it's not. I just think it's really all about the owners. The owners want to hire somebody that looks like them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the coaches that they've had, and I just think Mike Tomlin is only the second, you know, person of color that won a Super Bowl.
Him and Tony
Dungy, and that's it. But you know what? And I think what happened is that the Texans, the Houston Texans, man, they just, you talk about blubbing a duck.
Yeah.
They hire a black coach, right, from the Ravens, right? That's what this guy used to coach at for the Ravens, thinking that
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson was going to come back. No. Yep. Deshaun Watson is going to be. They don't want to trade him, but it's just like it is with Harden with basketball. Same thing. I want to be traded. I don't want to be here anymore.
Right. Yeah. When you start having, and it's kind of crazy because the McNair family, they've been owning. Are they still? No, they're not the owners of the Texans, but no, they're the Titans now. I forgot the
Titans now.
But the ownership and the leadership is, you know, you have the. I mean, TJ Watt is disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? And this is your
Right.
biggest star. This is your biggest star.
Right.
Not saying that Deshaun, I mean, you know, they're 1A and 1B on that team. It's like, dude, you got rid of Deshaun Watson's, you got rid of Deshaun Watson's playmaker. You got rid of, like, what are you doing? Just because, you know, now you get rid of the coach and you bring in another coach, which is cool.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that Deshaun Watson sees the business of it, and it's like, you guys aren't handling your business
No.
the way that you need to be handled.
No.
You know? And we're trying to win.
Right. Well, where do you think he should end up going?
49ers. It would work, but I know it's too much money and too much draft picks and stuff like that.
Because Jimmy Garoppolo is, to me, is a bust.
Oh no, he's out. They were trying to get Stafford. He's gone. He's gonna be gone.
Right. Yeah, he's a goner.
Yeah, I mean, again, you paid Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, $100 and whatever million, and it's like, you know, it's kind of crazy. You know, when these guys are up for these $100 million contracts, and then when the black guys are up for the contract, they're like, well, do we really want to pay you?
Well, that's the thing.
It's not guaranteed. Like,
you know, and that's the thing with it. It's been that way for the NFL, at least, especially if you have a black guy that's up for his contract, they're going to talk him down. They're going to find all kinds of flaws in this guy.
Right.
And it's not, you know, and really there's nothing wrong with the guy, but it just seems like these owners are just, the owners are scrupulous, man. They're just scrupulous. They're just scrupulous. I just don't, because they don't want to. Now what they'll do is they'll go out and spend money like they did with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
They got him from New England because people forget Tom Brady did not want Jimmy Garoppolo quarterbacking for New England.
Right.
So the management got him out to San Francisco. He goes to San Francisco, and he went to the Super Bowl, but won some playoff games. But really, you know, what else did he do?
Yeah, when it's on your shoulders, it's not really on your shoulders.
No.
You know, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing. When it's on his shoulders, he's like, I mean, it is what it is, though. You know what kind of quarterback he is. Is he a decent quarterback? Yes. But is he a Super Bowl quarterback? No.
No.
When you're trying to win, do you want him on your team all the time? No. Can I get Alex Smith back? I mean,
now Alex Smith is above average quarterback. He's not a bum.
Nah, he's not a bum. He learned a lot, though. He learned a lot in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's one of those guys. You know, just. You know, I think he got a bum deal, you know, going to the 49ers and then immediately having to start. And then you're like, well, he's not winning. Well, guess what? Your offensive line sucked. Your receiving core sucked. You this sucked. You that. Like, 49ers were in terrible disarray. And it's like, what can you do? So, you know, I'm glad to see him still playing, though.
And they're still in disarray because they don't have. The Niners have gone downhill to me.
Yeah, they're missing something. Something is missing. I think because they're a running team, they're not flash and dash like they used to be.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you have Travis Kelce. I mean, not Travis Kelce. You got George Kittle.
Right.
You have Deebo Samuels. I mean, you got some dudes, you know, you got 3 running backs that are some beasts.
Right.
You know, and so that's where the problem is. It's like, you know, when I need a play, can I get it to my guys?
Right.
You know? So I think that's Jimmy Garoppolo's problem is, hey, look, we need to make a play. And let me go to the right read. And he doesn't go to you know, they need that third receiver, but you know, whatever. We're not going to talk about them right now.
Well, and the other thing is that you look at the quarterbacks. Some of these guys, these jobs. I mean, Deshaun. I hope Deshaun Watson gets out of Houston, man.
Me too.
Because he's just going to wallow away into nothing because they aren't going to win. They took the receiver. Now, I got to go back. Now, Bill O'Brien was the head coach, and that was a personality conflict that they had between him and Hopkins, Andre Hopkins.
Right.
So they get rid of Hopkins. Well, what do you expect? Nothing's left for Deshaun Watson to throw to.
Yeah, who you gonna throw? Yeah, Fuller, and then we're triple teaming him, so we have no one else. I mean, they got a couple of young guys, but they're not there yet. Not for his caliber of talent.
And I think the thing is that you have to come into sports now ready to play.
Right.
You have, if you're not ready to play, you're going to be just a journeyman quarterback. Now, this is my own opinion. I would think that the good place for Deshaun Watson would be Jacksonville.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Only because if Urban Myers picks up Trevor Lawrence, for instance, Trevor Lawrence, there's no doubt in my mind, he's going to be a good quarterback. He'll not be a bum quarterback.
Right. But he can learn. He can learn from Deshaun Watson.
Right.
I mean, his caliber, I think, hopefully his caliber of talent doesn't do what, what's the guy in Philadelphia?
Wentz,
get upset like, hey, I'm not going to start. I want out of here. But it's like, dude, you've been sucking terribly.
Right, because what did you do? You didn't take your team to the Super Bowl. A backup quarterback took your team to the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, I thought it was all about teams, so it is what it is.
Well, a lot of times, and this is my own opinion again. I think with Trevor Lawrence, I think it's a racial issue with him.
Oh, you talking about Carson Wentz?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm reading it wrong. Carson Wentz. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think it's a racial deal with him because he just says, "I don't want to." Well, dude, when you did start, you sucked.
Right. And we can't help it that Jalen Hurts comes in and plays not even out of his mind, plays well.
Right.
Playing out of your mind means that he doesn't have the talent, and this is just not expected of him. But I totally expected him to play the way that he plays.
I did too. I did too.
I saw, like, when he was at Alabama, I was like, no. When he left Alabama and
went to Oklahoma.
Went to Oklahoma. When he left Alabama, went to Oklahoma, I was like, I was watching him play. I was like, oh, now he's NFL ready. Now he's making all of, because Oklahoma has that stretch to field where you have to throw side to side. So you got to show your arm strength, your arm talent. And he just flourished, man. I mean, he just flourished. He learned how to be a leader, like a galvanizing force on the team. And that's a tough environment to play in too, in Oklahoma. So
yeah, it is.
He did good, and and he came in with the right attitude. Like, man, I'm just here to learn, and when I get my time, it's time to play.
Right. Everybody was like, whoa, they were just ESPN, they were talking about, well, he said, man, you get out of town. These guys killed me just talking about, well, he didn't have a bad attitude. That kid came in here with the best attitude one could have.
Right.
If anything, you talk about Carson Wentz's attitude.
Right.
That's what you'd be talking about. But, of course, again, if you're a black quarterback, you have to almost come in polished.
Yep.
You gotta have an attitude. Because really, it used to be the black quarterback was the problem. But now the black quarterback is not the problem. Now the black coaches are the problem, because the black coaches, they can't get in. And if they get in, that situation with these coaches, man, is like, if you're a black coach, man, you got maybe 1 year, maybe two.
Yeah, two at the most.
But maybe one. And after that, you're gone.
Yeah. I'm with you too, because you could have Lovie Smith, who else?
Marvin Lewis,
Jim Caldwell. I mean, hell, Jim Caldwell got up out of Detroit. Now remember, Jim Caldwell was Matt Stafford's coach,
right?
And look how well they did.
did well. But you know what? Management decided we're going to pull the plug on him, and they brought in. They went. What they did was they saw how well New England was doing, right? And they saw how well the defense was doing. They saw how well the offense was doing. But see, you can't make Matt Patricia a head coach. But they found out the hard way. They brought him in.
Yeah,
what they made him a head coach.
They gave him 4 seasons, and he only won like 19 games or something like that.
I'm pathetic, really pathetic.
Like, dude,
situation.
You went 4-10, bro. Like a black coach can't go 4-10.
Oh, they'll run him out of town before this season's even over with.
Nah, you can't do that.
No,
that's not gonna happen. I mean, even Marvin Lewis, man, how you gonna run Marvin Lewis out of Cincinnati after 9.5 years of going to the playoffs for 8 years? Because it's time. Like, dude, your team sucks. He's just trying to coach what you give him. Right. So, you're right. They have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? You have to play the game, and it's still not an equal playing field. No,
it's not. And I don't think it's going to ever be equal. You wish it was, but you think about the NBA. How many black coaches are in the NBA?
Head coaches? 2.
Yeah, that's it. So the NBA is really no different. You got the Silas guy. Yeah, you got the Silas guy down in Houston.
Atlanta got one.
Atlanta got one, and then Detroit's got the other one.
No, and then Doc Rivers, so it's 4.
Okay, 4.
Okay, 4. So that is all of like 5% of the NBA.
Right. And I'm sure, certainly, there's a lot of these black coaches that can coach in basketball who would be good coaches. But again, it goes back to college basketball. How many black coaches head coaches are in the college basketball?
Yeah, or that Power 5 conference, because I think I think they're used to have, and you know what's crazy? Used to have more black coaches in these big time programs. That Sampson. I just watched Kelvin Sampson the other day. He's still like Houston, I think, or Houston or S&G, one of those.
He's at Houston.
Houston, yeah, Houston is balling. Just Houston is balling right now.
Right.
And he has a lot of that Texas talent, and he's from down there too. But it's hard to find. Back in the day, you had more black coaches that were coaching at the Division I level. It might not have been that top tier level, but there were more coaches. George Mason had one. Some of these schools you didn't even think about that. So you have these coaches that were coaching at these top tier schools, but now, you have the ADs who probably went to school. You got Juwan Howard. He's going to get a job. That's Juwan Howard. That's the Fab Hot guy. So you have to come with a name. Like it's like almost like branding yourself.
Right. Well, that's it. You have to brand yourself, and the other thing is that I just found this out last night. I was watching Tennessee beat the crap out of Kansas. The assistant coach of Kansas is in trouble. Big time trouble.
Yep. They're putting themselves on they before the NCAA, but they're putting themselves on restriction.
Probation.
Yeah, probation.
Restriction.
So I'm like Bill Self, what?
Well, because the problem, good and well they were dirty. Don't act like you're not dirty.
Go back
you're
to Blue
dirty.
Chips. Go back and watch Blue Chips, followers. Go back and watch Blue Chips. Nick Nolte tells you all.
Because if you don't have the talent, you're not gonna win.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why they're trying to get Penny Hardaway out.
Right.
That's why they're trying to get him. They're like, you know what? You can't connect with these little black kids, and because he helped them in high school, and now all of a sudden you swayed him to go to your school. Nah, man, there was already gonna look. Half them kids that play at Memphis, those are half his basketball team that won 2 state championships.
Right.
They were that good. They were just that good.
Right. But they don't. I think what it is, like anything else, the NCAA is just as prejudiced as it wants to be.
Oh yeah.
They can say they're not, but they are.
I mean, I remember, when I first moved, I don't know if you remember this. When we first moved to Atlanta, remember I went from the private school to Stone Mountain, right? I had a big issue.
Right.
Remember I went, and so I remember we had to go all the way down to like some bumble town in Georgia, and we had to have a hearing of why I transferred from one high school to the next. And you were playing here, and I was like, yeah, I'm scoring like 35 a game, like cool, like whatever. But I wanted to go to, like, my mom wanted to stop paying for the private school. She wanted me to go to the public school, and it was a big whoop-de-doo, right? And man, when I got there, do you know how many black kids were there because of recruiting? Like, and I know, and I've been recruited, but I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy because everybody was there, like, oh, we got to show, this or that. And I'm like, yeah, but they only ask certain questions to certain people.
Right.
They like this high school up in North Fulton County, an affluent part of Fulton County. They won a state championship in basketball. I'm like, man, what the heck? Oh no, they got like 7 black kids. Nah, hold on. Well, they don't live up there. Their parents don't work up there. What we doing? Like, I had to ask that question. They didn't live up there. They didn't work up there, but they was going to that school. I was like, but nobody says nothing. I was like, I ain't tripping. Get your game on. If that's what you guys want to do, then go ahead. But at a high school level, that's too much. That's just too much to recruit.
Well, unfortunately, now it's recruiting going on everywhere. Everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was watching Gonzaga beat the dog stuffing out of Pepperdine.
Oh man, they beat the brakes off them dudes.
But the coach of Pepperdine, I know him.
Who's the coach now? I don't know. Who's the coach now?
No, who is it? I'm having a brain fart right now, but
I had to look him up.
Lorenzo.
From Washington?
Yeah, I'm a coach. He's at Pepperdine now.
Oh snap!
Yeah, Lorenzo's back in LA.
Not Jared Lorenzo. Not Jared. Oh man. No, shoot. I don't know. Now I have to look at it.
Yeah. But anyway, Lorenzo is now coaching at Pepperdine. But we're talking about getting some chips together and building they got to have a new arena at Pepperdine, man.
Oh yeah, they joined us. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they joined us like really, really trashy. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I'm just like, yo, like
it looks like it's not an arena, is what it's not. It's not an arena. And these guys are all coaching these big arenas, man.
I mean, Gonzaga got one. It's like, yo, what? I mean, St. Mary's got one. It's kind of crazy. I'm with you though. It's kind of crazy. Like, yo, what the heck is going on? Lorenzo Romar.
Romar, right.
Yeah, that's him. Yep. I couldn't think of, I was saying his name backwards.
Good dude, good coach, good dude. I know him personally, man. He's just a solid kind of guy.
Right.
And the thing about it is, if you're a black coach, you better not cheat.
Oh no.
You'll get run through the ringer. Now, what happened is Kelvin Sampson got caught cheating, but Kelvin Sampson paid his dues though.
Yeah.
Kelvin Sampson's coming back player. He's coming back.
Oh yeah. His team is man. His team.
Ranked.
His team. Oh yeah. His team is. But see, they've been ranked for like 4 years now.
Right.
Whenever he took over, and what it was, he got all that talent from Texas. He got all that talent from Houston and Dallas. And you only need 4 dudes. He got all that big time talent. And they are mobbing people now. It's like, yo, you don't want to play Houston. I mean, even last year when they played in was it last year before last when they played in the tournament? You didn't want to play Houston. Houston was that good, but I think they lost kind of lost a game that they weren't supposed to lose. But I think they were a Final Four team. You know what I'm saying? I think they were a Final Four team that you see going out there.
Well, how are we looking for time?
We got 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So, everything. I just think that if you're a black coach, now if you're a black player, you got to be outstanding too. You can't be just the middle of the road kind of a guy. You got to be an outstanding guy. Then they'll throw all kinds of nickels and dimes at you, right?
Right.
But if you're not an outstanding player, forget about it. That's why I always say you should go to college and get your education.
Yep. I mean, I know some guys, man, that were going to college and like, man, I mean, let me see, what was this guy's name? This guy, he was like in Sal's class, so he graduated in like 90 whatever, right? And he went to Rice. He went to university. He went to Rice University down in Houston. And man, this dude, Tony McGee, that was his name, Tony McGee. If you ever look at him, he was a baller back in the day, right? Man, they was giving this dude like cars. He had his own apartment. And I was like, yo, we doing it like that? I mean, Rice had a good team too then. But yeah, man, they give you everything, and I'm like, yeah, but if it was just me, I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? I can't get that. So
no. Well, I tell the story about Jerry Tartanian, right? UNLV.
Talk to Shark, baby.
Talk to Shark. I'll never forget. There was a guy who was from Port Arthur, Texas, named Earl Evans. He was a long time ago. It was back in my time, and I lived in Las Vegas for like 1 year, so I hung around with the players a lot. And so Errol said, "Man, I don't have any money." So we walked down the hallway of the campus of UNLV, right? And then I look and I see the great Jerry Tartanian sitting at the desk. So we're all looking in there, and Errol walks into the office and says, "Coach, I need some money. I'm broke." So Jerry Tartanian is livid. He starts yelling at Errol. But he kept saying the key word, "You know where to go, Earl. Don't come asking me about any money." So later on that evening, that night, we all met up at the Silver Slipper on this a long time ago on the strip. So anyway, Earl got $10,000.
What?
From his booster, who ran the hotel.
It's happy, man. That's happy. That's happy from Blue Chips.
So
it's happy from Blue Chips.
Right. So that, but they did the same thing with Jerry Tartanian. Jerry knows, man, that God bless his soul. But Jerry knew a lot of these guys come into town, they don't have no money. And the NCAA is such a fraud. It's such a fraud.
Fraud, yeah, super fraud.
Such a fraudulent organization to no end, which is why a lot of these guys are going to playing over Europe, which, by the way, they're pumping up this boy from Dallas. Forget it. He's not going to be the MVP.
Who that, Luka?
Yeah. I don't care how many triple doubles you get.
They need the great white hope, man. They need the great white hope.
They need him. And he's good. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's not winning. And I just think that you cannot bypass the play of other good players in this league and give this boy the MVP. Because he's,
You know what's crazy? So they got rid of Seth Curry. So they got rid of Seth. They got rid of a couple other guys, right? Seth was last year before last, right? So they get rid of him, and Dirk goes out. I mean, even if you give the ball to Dirk at that point in time, Dirk can still score. He can still hit the 15-footer. He can still hit that fadeaway. So you still got to honor a lot of things. But now it's, hey, let's key on Luka. They don't have any shooting.
No,
they got rid of Wesley Matthews. Like, thank you. He's at the Lakers. He's not really playing much, but thank you. I mean, they got rid of a lot of guys. It's like, for Luka to be a success, he needs to have that floor spread out.
And he also needs to have other people to accompany him.
Right.
Because they're just, like white America. They just, Luka. And he's good. He's not great. I'm sorry.
Right.
He's not great.
He'll last longer, but I mean, yeah, the way, and he's young. He's young and vibrant and energetic, and he got a little he got a little Negro game in him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say he got a little Negro. He got the little behind the back, step back, and got a little pizzazz. But I like to watch him play. Don't get me wrong. I love to watch him play because I think he plays the game the right way. I think he has good fundamentals. But yeah, that's
you know who else plays the right way?
Who?
That boy from Charlotte.
The
ball brother. The ball boy.
Oh man.
6'7" guy.
Hey man.
Now you keep flashing all this stuff about Luka, you better keep an eye on that boy.
That guy, yeah, and he's silently destroying people. You know what I'm saying? He's like silently destroying people. Like, yo, like I'm going like every night. I'm going after you.
Right.
He has that mentality. Lonzo doesn't have that mentality. They're different people. They're different people. So, I think the way that his dad challenged him, and his dad continues to challenge him, but he's his own man now. Like, man, look, I ain't doing that. I'm going to go do this. He got a chance to play overseas, and when he was 13, when he was 14, 15 years old, so he got a chance to really grow up and then really experience adversity. And so, like, now it's like, yo, and then now he's relishing, like, yo, I'm in the building with Jordan. Like, I could actually go talk to him and say, hey, look, what am I doing? And, he has kind of, where he's really taken on that I could learn from him mentality, because a lot of people are scared. Kemba Walker had that same thing. I think that's what kind of blossomed Kemba Walker because he could, go talk and learn the game. So, I mean, it's amazing that you have one of the greatest to ever play the game, but you're like, man, I ain't talking to him because he won't challenge me. He should challenge you.
Right. So what are we looking for time-wise now?
Got 1 minute.
Okay, folks, I want to thank my one nephew for, pitching in as usual, always. And
what side is the best side?
We will be back every Sunday we're on. But what happens is on Monday, my great nephew puts it on YouTube. So Ron, you got a bunch of shows on YouTube. So come and check us out. We'll have some more guests forthcoming. And that's all I can tell you.
We're just gonna keep doing us.
We're just gonna keep doing us. Like
follow us on IG, BigSamandNephews.
Yeah, we're on IT. We're also on Facebook. We're on YouTube. So we're just spreading our wings, getting out here, and
we're just doing our thing.
BigSamandNephews. All right. We will see you all next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.